Dr. Emilie, my student has some behavior challenges where I really feel like he doesn't really respect me that much, and he really doesn't listen to me all that much either. So I'm wondering, I don't want to be mean to him, but I also think it's probably pretty important that he learn how to listen to folks like me and show respect, and really to have boundaries around his behavior. Dr. Emilie, what do I do?
Sure, that's a good question, Dave, and a common problem among not only mentors, but parents and teachers as well. It's difficult to know when to set appropriate boundaries for kids. I would recommend that you consider implementing a strategy where you can set some really clear boundaries in your mentoring relationship. And understanding that the more you do that, the more you can actually communicate love, because often I hear mentors say, well, I don't want to set too many boundaries because then it feels like I'm squelching the unconditional love in our relationship. Right. And really, that's not what's going on here. It's important to set limits so that kids respect you and understand structure. There's a 3-part model that I use in the counseling environment that seems to work really well. It's called the ACT model, or ACT. The first part of that model includes acknowledging the feeling. Certainly, kids can get overly excited, or they sometimes might be afraid, or even very angry, and that might lead to inappropriate behavior. So if you can simply say, Bobby, it looks like you're feeling very frustrated right now. That acknowledges the feeling that they're experiencing. The second piece of that model is communicating the limit. Even though a child might be frustrated or angry, even though the emotion is okay, it's not okay sometimes to participate in the behavior that they're participating in. Okay. So if you say something like, I see that you're very frustrated, but it's not okay to throw sand because that could hurt someone. So communicating that limit really clearly, and then the third part of that model is thinking of an alternative. And this is where a lot of times as parents or teachers or mentors, we forget to suggest what a child might be able to do, not just telling them what they can't do, but encouraging them to do something healthy instead with their emotion. And when you think of an alternative, introduce it in the same way. You might not be able to throw sand, but if you're frustrated, let's run in place together for 5 or 10 seconds, and then run together for 5 or 10 seconds in the mentoring room. That releases the energy. It helps communicate that the emotion is okay, and it helps give boundaries in your relationship. So quick review, acknowledge the feeling, communicate the limit, and then think of an alternative. And that should help set boundaries in your mentoring relationship.
Wonderful. ACT. Thanks, Dr. Emilie. Now I know what to do.